Hey y'all, today we are trying out a new foundation. They call it a full coverage moisturizer. I call it a foundation, and it is the Bye Bye Foundation Full Coverage Moisturizer Oil-Free Matte SPF 50 from IT Cosmetics. So, they call this a moisturizer. They claim it's full coverage, and it's the matte version. They have an original version. They have this in 12 shades. I got this online at Ulta. It's $39.50. We get into everything in the video. I actually did a first impressions on this. I filmed it, but I did not like the way anything looked. I couldn't decide if I liked it, if I hated it, so I did a second day. And it just went to crap. So on this video, I wanted to show you guys how I found I could make this work. So if you are new here, I use only natural lighting. We don't want anything to filter the skin out. I want you guys to see my rosacea, my redness, my pores, my lines, everything. And I want to see if this will cover it, so I want you guys to see if it covers it as well. So if you are interested, I hope you subscribe and click that bell, and let's go ahead and hop in. Okay, overlook my space buns. I do not feel the greatest and didn't feel like trying anymore. So this is what we got. But let's talk a little bit about this. This is called Bye Bye Foundation. I'm sure I told you guys all that in the intro. But this is the oil-free matte version. And I'm going to read the claims to you as we get into the application. I did film a first impressions of this, and then I didn't really know how I felt, so I filmed a second day of it. And to be honest, it looked awful. So I'm going to apply this the way that I have found that I like it best, the way it works best for me. And that is with adding in some of the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. That sucks because you don't want to pay $40 for this, and this is only $8, but you can mix other stuff in with it. But for me, I was thinking, because it said this was perfect for all skin types. And you guys know I do love some matte foundations. I do. But I was thinking this was going to be kind of a soft matte, but still has a little bit of glow, not just flat matte. Well, you guys, if you have oily skin, you may love this because it is flat drying matte. There's nothing moisturizing about this. I hate that they even say this is a full coverage moisturizer, because it's not. This pulls and drags on my skin, and I have normal skin, and I hydrate really, really well. I make sure that my skin is prepped and ready to go, and this just drags. I got this in the shade Neutral Medium, where we are going out of winter and coming into spring. I knew that if I loved this, my skin was definitely going to start getting darker, so that's why it's going to be a little bit dark. I'm just going to kind of shake it a little bit. It doesn't really do anything because it's pretty thick. So, okay, let's try to squirt some on the hand here. It's just spitting at me. There we go. So I did about a pump and a half, which is actually too much, but we're going to work with it. I'm going to grab some of the primer serum. I'm going to put about 3 drops on there. And then I'm going to mix it in to give it a little more slip, to give it a more skin-like finish. You guys, this is so darn matte, and it looks so bad on my skin. But I love the SPF in here. I love that it has that coverage. But as we get into application, you will see this is not full coverage. For my skin anyway, it's more of a medium coverage. Oh, this stuff is so thick. Even with this, it thins it out a bit, but it's still not ideal. So I'm just going to kind of rub that into the skin. On the forehead, you know the drill. We're just putting this everywhere, and then I'm going to blend it in with a sponge. A brush just does not work for me with this, but I want to show you guys how I can make it work, because I hate finding a product that I'm just kind of like, ugh, it doesn't look great. Some people are probably going to love this, but It's okay. I like kind of a challenge sometimes, I guess I'll say. But I like a lot of the benefits of this. But holy cow. I mean, unless you have severely oily skin, I mean you are an oil slick, then this is not going to work very well for you. If you are dry, steer clear of this, because holy cow. I mean, I'll put some on my hand and just show you guys. You'll see it just does not want to move. And I've used this 7 times. So I know my full thoughts on it. And at first, they were not good. I did not have a good review of this, for sure. But with some things, if you work a little bit harder, you can make it work. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy this for $40 to make it work. No. I'll show you guys at the end of the video other matte foundations that I love. But this one, and that's what's kind of crazy, it is normally with matte foundations, they don't accentuate pores. They look really smoothing on the skin. And with this one, it really did accentuate my pores. It's supposed to not go into lines, all that. My forehead, where I've not had Botox on my forehead for my migraines, we're trying to keep it up here now. And so I have my lines back on my forehead, and it looked so terrible. I looked so much older. Like, it was not good. Okay, let me read you some of this while I'm pushing this into my skin. It says it's your life-changing, full coverage moisturizer that gives you the power to say bye-bye to traditional foundation and hello to your most beautiful skin now in a matte finish. Now with this one, I don't think I ever tried the original of this. Maybe I'll like it better, where this one's just far too matte for me. It's not my jam, unless I make it work like I am right now. But it says it's designed to help cover and improve the look of your skin concerns, including redness, which you guys know I have a lot of, pores, dark spots, breakouts, lines, and wrinkles, all with SPF 50. You won't have to wear matte foundation again. I still think this is a matte foundation. I know they're calling it a moisturizer. This is a foundation to me. It is what it is. It just is. So here's what it looks like. You can still see my redness. You can still see freckles, discoloration, dark spots, redness down here. Now, it has the slightest bit more coverage when I don't mix it. But you guys, it looks so terrible on the skin. Like, I was ashamed to even upload the video. I went to editing and I was 100% like, holy cow, this looks awful. My pores look terrible. My lines look horrific. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this way. You still see the e.l.f. added in some glow, and it doesn't take away too much of the coverage. I swear, I highly, highly recommend this, you guys. I use it for primer. I use it for mixing. I just love it all around. But let me put a little bit of this on my hand. This dries very, very quickly, and it is so hard to blend. Like, do you guys see? Let me scoot in here. Do you see how thick it is? Like, it's so thick. I mean, it feels nothing like a moisturizer. Let's get real. And it's patchy. Once you start applying it on the face, it looks really patchy. Like, some places dry quicker than others. It wants to blend out weird. It's just a weird product overall. Like, then once, I mean, when you first put it on, it looks so full coverage. But then when you blend it out, you can see there, it's not at all full coverage. You can see spots that just, they don't look good, you guys. It does not look good. So this is what I like, a light layer. If you build this, it feels so heavy on the skin. It's heavy to begin with, but then if you try to build it, oh my gosh. it feels so incredibly heavy. So, and with building it, you don't really get any more coverage. If at all, it's the slightest bit, but it's practically nothing, and oh, it's just cake. This looks really nice, natural. I would say low medium coverage. You can still see everything, but it's doable, it's wearable. I feel comfortable enough in this to wear it. So I'm going to go off camera, finish up the face, and then we will be back. I'll show you guys full face and we'll talk about this a little bit more. Okay guys, so the only thing I have done is concealer, and I set my concealer. I wanted to pop back on here because this is one thing about this moisturizer, foundation, whatever you want to call it. This is one thing that really, really throws me off, and I don't like it. Like, it's one of those big determining factors of if you like a foundation or not. So with all the other stuff I was talking about, with it being so matte, so drying, it does not set on its own. So that's kind of like a bonus with a matte foundation. If I'm wearing a matte foundation, I want it to set on its own. It's matte, but it's like you're getting a little bit of extra time. You don't have to set it. With this one, you have to set it. You have to. If not, it will transfer like crazy. Ugh, it feels very tacky. So let's set this bad boy. And I'm using Mineral Veil because it does actually set my makeup down, but it doesn't make it look heavier or cakier. It doesn't really add any coverage, but it definitely sets everything down. When I used this on its own, it was about medium. Never was it full coverage. Even building it and it feeling terribly heavy, it was never full coverage. That claim is so way off, like a lot of the other claims they said. But I'm going to go off camera, really finish up the face this time, and I'll be right back. Oh, this foundation is so confusing. I think it looks really great now. I do. I honestly do. But I did mix it, and that kind of sucks, paying $40 for a foundation that you have to mix to make it work. But I have to think about the other 6 or 7 times that I've worn this and all of the cons. It's just so matte, it drags on the skin. But yet it's matte, accentuates pores. It's matte, but doesn't set completely on its own. It totally will wipe off. So those are all such big cons for me that I can't recommend this. You guys know I can't. It's a no-go. I think that you can make it work. That's like my look today. I like it, but it's light coverage like this, and it's medium at best on its own. But I like it, but we do have, you know, powder on and highlight, and we made the skin look a lot glowier, and I honestly really do love the look today. But you really have to try to make this work, and I don't want to pay $40 for a foundation that I have to baby or mix or do this or use it a certain way. So I don't recommend this one. If you do want a matte, fuller coverage foundation, I would go for, let me grab them here in my big ass drawer. Hold on, I gotta find one. I wish I could pop this drawer out for you guys. Like, wow. It's full of foundations. So if you wanted an affordable one, I would go L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. You guys know I love this. It's full coverage, very light on the skin, sets on its own. It is a liquidy, really light, buildable, up to full coverage. Now, if you want, and again, these are all matte, if you want kind of middle of the road, I love the Dermablend Flawless Creator. These again are light, they're super liquidy, full coverage. You do not have to set this. I love this, matte. And then my newest matte foundation love is the VDL Perfect Lasting Foundation. This is full coverage, boom off the bat, beautiful, sets on its own. All of these, I would say especially these two, they make your pores look so smooth. They don't accentuate, wow, they don't accentuate wrinkles, texture, any of that. All of these. I would hands down go with these before I would that. And if you want the sun protection, put on a sunscreen first, pop these over top, and you are good to go. This is just not my jam at all. I don't. And if we want to talk about wear by itself without adding anything to it, I get about 7 to 8 hours of decent wear. Because if you touch your face, if you put your phone to your face, anything, it starts breaking apart. It looks very patchy. I mean, sometimes it's hard for me to blend this out and it not look patchy from the start. So the wear isn't great for me, even though it feels so heavy and is matte, and you have to set it. I've worn it both ways. Without setting it, I'm only getting about 6 hours of decent wear. If I do set it, it does last a bit longer, but no. So I'm sorry I had to show you guys this with adding something, but again, I wanted to show you guys with me making this product work, because it just launched on Ulta. I got it early because I'm a platinum member, whatever, diamond member. Yeah, I got it early because I'm a diamond member, and I've been trying it out, and there's like 200 reviews, so I don't know if they added more shades. I don't know if that's messed up. I'm not sure, but as far as I understand, this is a new product. So I don't recommend this at all. Of course, you guys kind of see the theme, but yeah, I don't like it. You can do better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, I hope you subscribe and click that bell, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye, guys.